Is Angelica Shutt. Before I get started on our this week's discussion, there is a toddler that will possibly scream in the background. That is my little cousin. I just wanted to apologize in advance because it is more than likely to happen. Okay, so I first wanted to start off by saying that I feel like it is hard to talk about race and racism because of how sensitive the topic is. I feel like especially right now, with a lot of stuff that we can look back and and see what happened in our own city during this past year with like the Breonna Taylor case and the Black Lives Matter protest. I feel like it can be really hard to talk about this, and I actually have personal experience from those type of conversations. At my job, I worked closely with somebody who was heavily involved in these protests, and when I had these conversations with her, I found myself listening a lot. And I'm the type of person that I always want to talk. I literally just don't shut up sometimes. And I'm just being honest. But I always wanted to just listen to her and show her that I was listening because, I consider her a friend, but I never wanted to take away what she was telling me about her own experiences and what she has been through, because of her race. I never wanted to take away anything from her when she was having these conversations with me. And, sometimes I caught myself, it was hard for me to react to some of the things that she told me because, while I don't, I never really understood what she was going through. I always just told her I was there for her, and I can't understand what you are going through. However, I will be there for you and support you in any way you need. And I feel like if we're going to like the barriers question in this week's discussion, I kind of look at the older generation a lot, and I feel like with race they experienced different things than the younger generation has experienced. And I catch myself having these conversations with some of my family members, and I get really worked up when it comes to topics like these because I feel like I just always want to defend people who need to be defended. And you know, I personally feel as if I can't really have the conversation about race and racism with the older generation because I feel like they can be super insensitive to this topic. Sorry, I'm looking at notes that I had taken down. And I feel like this shows a lot about how they grew up and what they experienced when they grew up. And I feel as if it shows a lot of their own biases and stereotypes. And I feel like whenever I'm having a conversation with somebody in the older generation about this stuff, I feel like they can't admit their own biases and stereotypes about race and racism, even though when they're talking about these topics, they're basically showing how they feel. And I don't know, I catch myself getting really worked up in these conversations. And, I, I'm, in these conversations, like I said, I just always like to listen, because I never want to try to put somebody, in I always want to put myself in somebody else's shoes. However, I know in some situations I can't because I don't want it to come off as, offensive or, I never want somebody to think I'm trying to take away from them or relate myself to an experience that I may not be able to, put myself into. And I hope I made sense when I explained all of that. I'm going to go ahead and cut this video short. The toddler is trying to come in. So yes, thank you all.